Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight we have with us a special guest. We have Martin Shulman of the Swedish metal band Demonical. Welcome to the show, Martin.
Thank you.
So, Martin, before there was Demonical, there was Centinex, based out of Finland. So tell us a little bit about your history with that band and how you came about to form Demonical.
About Finland, I'm born in Finland, but I moved to Sweden as a teenager, so I formed Centinex right after I had moved to Sweden. So, this was back in 1990, early 91. So it was when, the big death metal boom was about to start, especially here in Sweden. So influenced by that, me and a couple of friends, we wanted to start a band. So we started Centinex. And then we released a couple of demos, a couple of albums, kept the band going up until 2006. So basically 15, 16 years. And then I reached a point that I felt that enough is enough. There were like all kind of problems, or maybe the biggest issue was that the band had turned to something I couldn't really stand behind anymore. I mean, when we started the band, it was like really old school death metal, but then 15 years later, the band has it had turned to more like some kind of melodic death trash, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then there were some other issues also. I mean, we had released the last album we did with Centinex back then in 2005. We felt it was a really good album, but we didn't really get the support from the label and stuff like that. So all in all, I felt that this is it. Enough is enough. I want to start like something new, something fresh, but from turn the page, form a new band. So me and two of the guys from Centinex, we started Demonical back in 2006. And then, we released the first album in 2007 and kept it going since.
So what were the...
That's like the story in short.
What were the early days of Demonical like now?
It was really cool because when I decided to start Demonical, I really wanted to create a band, or get that feeling, which is what Centinex had in the beginning, like really starting from scratch, like starting from the underground. We recorded the first Demonical release was a promo CD. We recorded 3-track or a 4-track promo CD. We sent it out to different labels, like chasing a record deal, and also this chemistry of the band with those guys we had in the band back then, it was really good. So the overall feeling, it was like it was a big relief when I started Demonical, because the last couple of years when I was doing Centinex back then, it didn't feel so good. It was like quite a struggle in many ways. So starting Demonical, it was like really, it felt good. It was like from a blank page, you started something new. It felt like really good, and I also decided to not to do the same mistakes with Demonical as we did during the Centinex career. So all in all, it felt really good, and we have achieved more with Demonical during these 11, 12 years than what we ever did with Centinex. So it has been a good ride so far.
Now, you have, like you said, went on to record 5 full-length albums with the band, along with some splits and EPs, and your latest about to release, Chaos Manifesto. In all those years, Martin, what were some of the high points in the band, and what were also some of the struggles you've had to face as a band?
I think it's quite hard to point out any like specific high points, but of course every time when we have released a new album, album, and it has, gotten good reviews, so we have done some good shows or touring, and all these things have like been, it has felt good, and it has been high points. Then of course we have had some lineup changes and stuff, and especially during the couple of last years, and I mean lineup changes are always low point, and they are pain in the ass and everything, but as long as you try to keep in mind that every lineup change will turn the band to the better, and you will get like a better and better members and better lineup. It's good, but of course those are like the low points. But basically all in all, if you look at all the years we have been doing this, it has been like a mostly high points, so it has been good.
Now, it's been 5 years now since your last release, so what has been going on with the band in between releases?
Yeah, that's right. It's 5 years since the last full-length album released, the Darkness Unbound album in 2013. Then we did the mini-CD, Black Flesh Redemption, in 2015. And that was the first release. We signed a new record deal there in 2014, so with Agonia Records, and the mini-CD was the first release for them, because when we signed the deal, we had also some lineup changes there around that time. So when we had signed the new record deal, we wanted to to release something quite fast or quite soon after the new deal was signed, just to basically show that the band is alive and doing well and everything. So we recorded 4 tracks for the mini CD and released that, and Agonia released it in the spring 2015. And the plan was the whole thing with the mini CD was that it was meant to be like just a mini CD, like a small thing in between 2 albums, and the plan was to release or record the next full length like quite soon after the mini CD. But the whole thing with the mini CD, it grew. It became like almost like a full length in terms of promotion and touring and stuff. So we did quite a lot of shows and tours. After the release of the mini CD, and it got really good reviews. So everything like became bigger and bigger. So there wasn't like really any time to. We didn't have like time to sit down and start with the next full length album. So that's why it has taken now 3 years since the mini CD until this new full length is out. So we have been like during all these 5 years between these 2 albums, we have been really active. Doing a lot of things in Europe. We have been played the Maryland Death Fest a couple of years ago and stuff, also in the States. So we have been like really active and busy with the band, but we haven't really had time to focus on a new album. But then we said like a year ago that now we have to start with the new album, and then like last spring we started to write the new album, and then we started to record after last summer. So basically the second half of 2017 we were like really busy with this new album. So time runs really fast. So and when you look at it on the paper, it's 5 years between the albums. That's like back in the 70s and 80s, there was like 1 year between big bands. They were like touring all the time and they released albums every year. But nowadays, there aren't many bands who are doing albums even every second or every third year.
Right.
But now it's 5 years between the 2 albums, so we felt that that's a pretty long time. But as I said, we have been active at least.
Right. And today we're here to talk about your new album, Chaos Manifesto, out March 23rd on Agonia Records. Martin, what's the current lineup in the band?
The current lineup is me and bass, and I have been in the band since the beginning. Then we have a drummer, Kenneth. He has been in the band since 2014. He was one of the guys who came when we signed the new also Eki, the lead guitarist, he came at the same time as Kenneth. And then the rhythm guitarist, Johan, he has been in the band since 2013. He was first a session member on a couple of tours, and then he became a full-time member. And then the latest addition, and maybe like the biggest change in the band now during the last years, is that we have a new vocalist, Alexander. He has been in the band for 1 year now. And the thing with the vocalist is also maybe one of the reasons. We had some problems with our previous vocalist. I mean, everything worked fine when doing tours and when doing shows and everything, but there were some other issues related to the band, but like out of the public eye that we had to deal with together with him, and and it took quite a lot of energy from us, so that's also one of the reasons why it took quite a long time to get started with this new album. But then when that was sold and we got the new Alexander, new vocalist, into the band, and like really everything took off in a good speed, and it felt the chemistry in the band became much better, and then we got the rehearsals going good and the writing process for the album and everything. The last year, because Alexander has been in the band pretty much for 1 year now, so this past year has really felt good, and we felt that we had to do this change the vocalist. We had to do it in order to keep the band going and to get the new album recorded and released. So of course, I mean, changing a vocalist. I mean, the previous vocalist, he had been in the band since our second album, and he has been. I mean, as with every band, many people they associate a band with the vocalist. So, and he's, even if I'm like the spokesperson for the band, the previous vocalist, he did also do like interviews and stuff, and was to like, people associate him with the band as the frontman. So of course, changing a vocalist is a quite big thing, but it has turned out well, and as I said, I mean, the chemistry in the band and the overall feeling and motivation for everyone is like a couple of 100 times better now than it was before. So and especially then with this new album also, with all the good reviews we have gotten and everything, so it feels like really good. We are looking positively into the future or something like that. Yeah.
So this is your first full-length album with Agonia, then?
Yeah, the second recording, but the first full-length album. Yeah.
And the first one with your new vocalist.
Yeah, exactly.
So how would you describe the sound, then, of this album, Martin?
Well, in short, I will say it's death metal, Swedish death metal. if you put on the album and if you are familiar with, if you know the Swedish death metal sound, like the old school sound, then you can hear it's, where we are coming from and what our influences are. But on the other hand, the thing which, even if we label ourselves as Swedish death metal or even old school Swedish death metal, you can still hear traces from other kind of like genres, like regular heavy metal, thrash metal, whatever. And also that we have our, if you listen to the or describe typical old school Swedish death metal, we are a bit more melodic without being too happy and too cheerful.
Right.
So I think it's pretty good. As I said, I really don't want to label our music or even other bands too much. When someone asks what we are playing, I said simply Swedish death metal, and then I leave it up to the listeners to decide and make up their own opinion about it. So Swedish death metal.
And on this album too, what are some of like the subject themes and lyrics about?
First of all, I haven't written a couple of lyrics only on the album, so it's the vocalist who has made most of them. As with many death metal bands, I think in general, the music is basically more important than the lyrics. Even if you have like really deep and good lyrics, if the music sucks, then the whole track will suck. It doesn't matter how good the lyrics are. So, but I think it's still quite like important to have suitable lyrics for death metal song. If you are playing brutal death metal, maybe you can't sing about flowers and honeybees. So it has to be like brutal stuff. But basically our lyrics, they are small stories or tales or whatever about darkness and downfall of mankind, other like positive, nice subjects. So yeah, but as I said, the music and the lyrics, they have to go hand in hand, and they have to sound good. So yeah, but lyrics are important, but the music is more important. But those things together is like the most important thing.
Now, this is also your first album to feature a track all in Swedish. It makes sense seeing you're all from Sweden, but why are you now doing this for the first time?
Yeah, that's right. The first track is Swedish. I don't know why we haven't done it before. There aren't that many death metal bands with Swedish bands who have lyrics in Swedish. So we haven't really thought about it, but it was like a couple of years ago I came up with this idea that how about having a track with Swedish lyrics, and we didn't, and everyone, the guys, we thought that that's a good idea, let's go for that. But then we didn't like really decide right away which track it would be or anything. I had this idea in mind that it shouldn't be a fast track, because I thought that maybe like Swedish lyrics doesn't fit to a fast track, that it would preferably be a slower one or like mid-tempo, more epic track. So, but then when I was writing the music, and then when I write the music for this track, Välkommen Undergång, then I quite instantly realized that this is it, this is the track which should have Swedish lyrics. So and then we contacted a good friend of ours who is like really good on, he's playing in a Swedish rock band, like a really dark rock and roll band called Alpha Hanne, and they have all their lyrics in Swedish, and he's really good on writing Swedish lyrics, because it was also, we felt that if we are going to have Swedish lyrics, they have to be really good ones. And I can admit that I'm not able to write, like, in my opinion, good Swedish lyrics. But anyway, this guy, we asked him if he could write the lyrics, and he said, of course. And so he wrote the lyrics, and then when he had written the lyrics, the next idea was how about having him to do some backing vocals also on the track. So he joined the studio and did some backing vocals. So it turned out really good and quite interesting actually. And so far, everyone who has heard it, they have said that it sounds
it sounded good to me, even though I couldn't understand a word of it, but I still enjoyed it. It fit very well.
Of course, that's the problem, that many people don't understand, but maybe you still get the feeling and
it was great.
Yeah, you understand, so
No,
that's interesting,
Do you guys pick the order the songs go on the album?
If we do it ourselves.
Yeah,
we do it. Or now the record label, if you thought about, if the record label is doing it. No,
You do it all.
no, yeah, that's. I mean, we have a quite bigger freedom with Agonia. They trust our good taste and our yeah. I mean, they don't really. I mean, of course, we discuss things. I mean, this thing now we have like released two like tracks before the album release, and there's a third one also coming out now before the album is out. So of course we discuss these things with Agonia, but in the end it's yeah, they let us decide. But of course we listen to their opinion as well and take input from them as well. But it's not like I mean, Agonia, they can still be considered as some kind of not maybe underground, but they are at least not a major label, so they are not those. And I mean, you know how major labels are,
Sure.
when they are telling the artist exactly how things should be. So, but we don't have that problem. So it's working really fine with Agonia. I mean, we trust them and they trust us, so that's good.
And now you, like you said, you pre-released a few songs. So what have been some of the early reactions to the new music and some of the reviews?
Yeah, the first track we released, it's almost a month ago, the Towards Greater Gods track, and yeah, that was maybe the only track we had a small discussion with together with the label if we should release that as the first one, because that track is it's maybe not the most typical Demonical track, because it's a mid-tempo track, a lot of double bass, a bit more melodic, a bit more like epic almost. So it's not this like, I mean, always in the past we have always like released always the first track has always been like a fast one or something. But this time we decided that we want to try to take not the most obvious track from the album and release that as the first one. And of course we knew that some people or fans or whatever, they might think that, I mean, because there are people always judging a whole album based on the first track they hear.
Right.
But in general, the reactions have been really good. But of course, there have been some people like, yeah, because they thought that the whole album is going to sound like that. They have been like complaining that we have wimped out, or this is too melodic, this is not demonical, what is this? So, but I mean, in general, the overall reactions have been really good. And then the second track we released the Avoid Most Obscure, which is also the opening track of the album. We released that a couple of weeks ago, and that's like that's like a typical Demonical track, a fast one, like really Swedish death metal. So then those who were like nervous that we had whipped out, then they got calmed down when they hear that track and realized that, yeah, the whole album is not just like melodic stuff.
Now, are you guys going to be... Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say that then we are actually going to release a new, the third track now on Thursday, actually, yeah, the day after tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
So, yes, yeah, and that's, I can reveal that track will also be a bit different than, it's not maybe the typical Demonical track, it's one of the a bit more different ones from the album again, so let's see what people say.
And now, are you going to be doing some touring to follow up the album?
Yeah, we are actually, or not to be, I mean, we have quite a lot of shows here in Europe now, festivals for the spring and summer, and we are currently booking more festivals also, so we are focusing on those kind of things. We have like, yeah, we are doing a small tour, like 4 shows in Spain here in April, but then apart from that, it will only be like festivals. I think we have like something like 7 festivals or something booked in Europe. So we don't have any real like tour booked yet. We'll see how we do about touring. We try to do as much as played in North America. We have played in the States twice. We have done Maryland Death Test twice.
Mm-hmm.
And we have done a lot of shows and tours in Europe. So now we somehow, I mean, we love to play in Europe, don't get me wrong, but it would be nice to try to maybe focus on North America, even South America also, for this album, and maybe do a little bit less in Europe. So, but the problem is to find, I mean, it's a bit more complicated to tour in North America than to tour in Europe.
Right.
And you have to, because we have also said that if we are going to do a tour in the States, we want to do like a proper one, like a good one. It's no use to invest a lot of time and money to fly over and then do something like half done. It's
Right.
better to do it like properly right away, which means that, yeah, it's a lot of money involved because we want to do it properly. You need all the work permits and all the visas, and you have to have a good tour package to tour with and all this kind of stuff. So hopefully we are able. I mean, we have gotten offers to tour states in the past, but those offers haven't really been. Yeah, we have. I mean, we are no rock stars, and we are basically. Yeah, we can do whatever shows, but we also feel that if we do this kind of investment to fly over, we want to do it like in a good way, and also that it will gain the band somehow. So hopefully, end of this year, early next year, or something to get over and do some touring.
And what are some of the best sites for people to learn more about the band, find links to your shows, merchandise, and all that kind of stuff?
Facebook is the shit.
There you go.
So they should go to Demonical at Facebook. It's like, Demonical Official at Facebook. From there you can find we have all the Instagram and Twitter and YouTube accounts, and we have a merch store and everything, but you can either just Google Demonical. I mean, Demonical is a good word. I mean, it's there aren't that many bands named Demonical. So if you Google Demonical, I mean, almost all the hits you get, they are about the band. So that's pretty easy. So you can either Google Demonical, and there you find everything, different links, or then you go to Facebook, put in Demonical, and you will find our site. And from there you can click yourself further. So, yeah.
And there you guys go. Demonical has a new album out March 23rd off Agonia Records called Chaos Manifesto. And Martin, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with us tonight. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you. You too. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you.